Well, hello, 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 everyone. Happy Monday. And most of all, to all the fathers, happy Father's Day. I hope that you had an amazing Father's Day and happy Juneteenth to everyone. I hope that this weekend was amazing for you and spilling over into today. Oh my gosh, it is Monday. And listen, I am elated to be with you. It is a marvelous day. It is beautiful outside. And listen, I couldn't ask for anything better. Couldn't ask for anything better. I love summertime. I love when the days are longer. I love the sunshine. Yes, it's hot, but what's the point of complaining about that? It could be so much worse. And so I just love the flowers in bloom. I love the warm breezes, the cool breezes, depending on where you are. And listen, summertime is springtime is my all-time favorite. All-time hands down. Springtime's my favorite. Summertime's my close second. So I'm enjoying it. And I hope the same is for you. Whatever your favorite time of year is, I hope that today, you're embracing the beauty that today brought for you. Whether your favorite season isn't here or if it is, I hope that today you're embracing the beauty that today brought and enjoying celebrating the small things, not taking the small things for granted. What you may deem to be small, listen, it's huge. The fact that you can take a breath in and a breath out, that's huge. Because for some people, that's dependent upon a ventilator. That's dependent on an inhaler. That's dependent upon, you know, so many different factors. The fact that you can see and hear me, that's a blessing. Tell, don't count out the small things. It's just I'm grateful today. So I just want to share that. Just grateful. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Listen, if you didn't already know, I wanted to remind you that September 17th, oh my goodness. September 17th, 2022, Pain and Glory will be hosting our 8th annual Pain in the Pews Mental Health and Ministry Conference. And y'all, it is going to be amazing. I don't know if you've ever been to one of our conferences in the past, but if you haven't, listen, you are in for an amazing experience. So mark your calendars. You're going to be seeing a lot more information about who the speakers are, and what's coming up. You're going to be seeing that very soon. But I want you to mark your calendars now. Yeah, I know it's June 19th now. It is not until September. That's why we have to be prepared. So it's already on your calendar. I want you to mark it on there. September 17th, 2022. Mark your calendars. It's going to go down, and it's going to go down in such a big way. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be helpful. It's going to be inspiring. It's going to be motivating. It's going to be challenging. Mhm. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be anointed. It's going to be filled with resources. It's going to be dynamic. Can't wait. Can't wait. So I want you again, let me put it up there again. The 8th Annual Pain in the Pews Mental Health and Ministry Conference, September 17, 2022. September 17, 2022. So listen, as you probably have already heard me say, or you may already know this, because you know y'all stay in the know, the month of June is Men's Health and Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And so this whole month, our Pain in the Pews mental health and ministry segments have been dedicated specifically and solely to our men and their health. And today is no different. This evening, I'm going to be sharing with you something really powerful, as I have been sharing with you the last few weeks. And I hope that you've been getting a lot from them as I have. And so Rwenshaun Miller, changed the man's whole name. Rwenshaun Miller is going to be sharing with us something I think is important. He's going to be talking about labels, and actually he's going to be talking about the power of embracing labels to address mental illness. And so I'm going to share my screen with you as I have in the past, and I'll be back at the end. And I'm going to share this with you. It's not long, but I want you to listen, share this, tell others about it, especially our brothers. Share this, hit that share button, let it go out so they can hear and see this powerful message from Rwenshaun Miller. It's not very long, but it's very impactful. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share with you this great and dynamic gentleman that's going to be sharing with you. So one moment and we will get this underway. And I hope, I don't just hope, I know that you will enjoy this moment. So without further ado, here we go.
Today, we're going to talk about labels. Labels are used to describe people and things. As y'all can see, my first label that I wanted to introduce to you is that I'm black. But then also, I'm a man. And along with those two labels, when you put them together, you find some unique stressors. As I think about whenever I step outside of the house, I have to think about how I'm going to talk to someone. I had to think about how I'm dressed. I even had to think about just my interactions with the individuals that I may meet in passing. And I think we can all agree when you're constantly thinking about things like that, it can be very stressful. But in 2006, I gained a new label, bipolar 1 disorder, as I sat in the psychiatric ward of a hospital during my sophomore year of college. My family escorted me to the hospital after they recognized my first psychotic break. During this time period, I lost about 25 pounds over a matter of 6 weeks. I went through a period where I wouldn't leave my dorm room. And I went through a period where I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. But the deciding factor for them was the three distinct voices that I would hear. And those three distinct voices got me the specific label of bipolar 1 disorder with psychotic features. Now, outside of all of the symptoms that I was experiencing, when I received this label, it came with fear and shame. Because I'm a black man from a rural town in Bertie County, North Carolina. Grew up, three-sport athlete, graduated near the top of my class. Got a scholarship, an academic scholarship to the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. And I walked onto the football team and the track team there. So long story short, I was a man. And I thought that the man couldn't have this label attached to him. Because once people found out about this label, oh, then comes the label of being crazy. Nobody wants to be called crazy. So I had to keep that label to my chest, close to my chest. Didn't want to tell anybody. Only people that knew was my close family. Lucky for me, I also got treatment during that period, through the initial stages. Started to see a therapist, started to see a psychiatrist, and was taking my medication. I got better. But the ignorance in me told me that I was cured. The ego in me told me that I could thrive without being in treatment. So I stopped. I wanted to get back to being a man. Nobody knew that I was in the hospital. Nobody knew I ever took meds. So I could just jump back into the groove. When I got back into that stage, the symptoms came back. But then my ego was talking to me, oh, you don't need to go back to that. You don't need treatment. For me, started self-medicate with alcohol. I was going through a fifth of tequila every other day. And that went on for years. During this period of trying to ignore this bipolar label, I picked up another label. The label was being a survivor of attempting to die by suicide 3 times. First 2 times, attempt to overdose on pills. Last time I put a gun in my head and pulled the trigger, and it jammed on me. Now, a lot of people think that suicide is something that's selfish or, they really don't understand it. But during this time period, I was just trying to end the pain. But then y'all remember those 3 voices? They were telling me that the world would be better off without me here. That was the lowest point of my life. And after a bunch of tears and a lot of self-reflection, I actually went back to treatment, got on meds, started to see my therapist again, and I got better this time. But as I got better, I started to look at the world completely different. Started to notice that friends and family were suffering the same way I was. And a lot of times we weren't talking about it. Even a close friend of mine, I understood that he would smoke all day, every day. Honestly, we were this dysfunctional household. I would drink all day and he would smoke all day. But I wanted him to get the help that I got. And the only way that I was able to do that was for me to share with him the battle that I dealt with for 7 years alone. And actually explain to him my diagnosis, explain to him my attempts at suicide. And his very first response to that was, well, bro, why you ain't tell me? But I want y'all to think about it. What if your friend comes up to you and say, oh, I've been hearing 3 voices. They telling me I shouldn't be here anymore. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I was in a psychiatric ward in a straitjacket. What would you do? Since that time, I picked up a few more labels. But honestly, these labels help me manage the symptoms associated with bipolar disorder. And honestly, y'all may want to pick up these labels as well because you may benefit from them. Now, I'm not trying to diagnose anybody in here, even though I'm licensed to do so. But we all go through something at some point in life. So I picked up the label of being I would say, gym rat or yogi, an amateur yogi, because I understand how physical fitness ties directly to my mental health. Also, I picked up the label of being a writer, but mostly in my journal, because this helps me keep track of these racing thoughts that I have going on in my head. Then I picked up the label of being an artist. Now, you won't get any Mona Lisas or anything out of me, but I use coloring books as a form of active meditation. And then one of the final labels that I picked up was I'm a researcher. Not in the sense of being a PhD student, but in the sense of researching myself. I keep track of everything: who I talk to, how much time did I sleep that night. All of these things help me learn my protective factors, help me learn my stressors, help me learn my triggers. Because I can't change anything unless I know about them. So, with all of that, I want to challenge anyone who has the label of any mental health challenge and embrace your other labels. You are more than just that one particular label. And for anybody that doesn't have a diagnosis, I challenge you to understand what that label means to individuals that you love and care about. It's used to be a framework to find ways to support that individual, not to ostracize them. I learned how to embrace the label of being bipolar, but I also learned to embrace every other label that was given to me or I gave to myself. I'm not a person that suffers from bipolar disorder. My name is Rwenshaun Miller. I live with, and with the help of healthy supports, I thrive with bipolar disorder. Thank you.
Listen, I tell you what, Mr. Miller really gave us some great insight on really addressing the topic of embracing, identifying, understanding, and embracing the labels and taking away the stigma behind the labels, right? Because it's all in how you, as he gave at the end, it's all in how you address the labels that makes the huge difference. And again, that is Rwenshaun Miller that we just heard from. Listen, again, the month of June is Men's Health Awareness Month, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And we are dedicating this time to our men. It's great that yesterday was Father's Day, and I made a post that was dedicated to the men who may not be fathers, but you know what? Father's Day may be a tough time for them because maybe their father has passed on, and you know, and it's okay to grieve. Understand it's okay to grieve. Or for those men who are fathers who lost a child to whatever reason their child or children are no longer here, give them the space to be okay to handle Father's Day in the way they needed to. For fathers who are not in their children's lives the way that they want it to be for whatever reason, you know, giving them the grace as well to heal and to push forward and to fight for what is right in the right way. The spot, so although we give gifts to our wonderful dads and we celebrate them on Father's Day, which is so awesome, and father figures and those who stand in the gap as a father, even if they're not the biological. We've got big brothers, right? We've got mentors, we've got coaches, right? We've got teachers, educators, all that are wonderful to be celebrated on Father's Day, and also understanding that for some Father's Day is tough. And so we want to embrace our brothers and let you know that we love you, we see you. And listen, this whole month is dedicated to your health, mind and body. And we want you to get the help and health that you need. And we embrace you in the process of getting that, whatever it is you need. If you need someone to talk to, there's help. Go to psychologytoday.com and find a good psychologist. If you don't have a primary care physician, go and search out through your insurance company. If you don't have insurance, fine. There are ways. Google is your friend. I said this before. Find out how you can get medical health assistance and go to the doctor. And I'm not talking about those annual physicals that your job gives you. No, sir. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting a real physical. I'm talking about getting a real checkup. I'm talking about really going and talking to someone. We need you here, and we need you healthy. We need you here, and we need you healthy. So, listen, I want to remind you guys again. I know I said it already, but just in case somebody came on late, you came in late and you might not caught it. You might not have caught it. So I want you to know that on the 17th of September of this year, we are celebrating our 8th annual Pain in the Pews Mental Health and Ministry Conference. And I could not be happier. Like, for real. If I could be an emoji, I just know that there will be a whole lot of things going on. But listen, I'm excited. We've got some great speakers. We've got a lot of great things that's going to be different this year. Oh my gosh. Looking forward to it. Plus, we'll be honoring our Trailblazer of the Year each year for the past, since 2018. So we started the Pain in the Pews initiative in 2014, and in 2018 we started with the Trailblazer of the Year acknowledgement and awards. No, I'm wrong. I apologize. 2019. We started with the Trailblazer of the Year award, and so this year will be no different. We'll be honoring someone amazing this year. You'll hear more about it. So stay tuned, stay connected, stay plugged into us, and look, we can't wait to be with you on next week. For another Pain in the Pews Mental Health and Ministry broadcast. Until then, please stay safe. Please, brothers and ladies, go to the doctor. If you feel that you need mental health assistance, if you feel that something's a little different, something's a little off, you can't really place your finger on it, but something's a little different, you're probably right. So go talk to someone about it. Talk to someone about it. There's help and there's hope out there just for you. In the meantime, in the in between time, I will see you next Monday night.